What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Nate Land Podcast. Nate Bargatze, Aaron Weber, Brian Bates. Thank you to Talkspace. Talkspace is the #1 online therapy platform that has thousands of licensed therapists trained in over 40 specialties. You can text, video, or send voice messages to your licensed therapist. It's very easy to do. They have virtual sessions. As a listener of this podcast, you'll get $100 off your first month with Talkspace to match with a licensed therapist today. Go to Talkspace.com and enter code NATE to get $100 off your first month and show support for the show. That's code NATE and Talkspace.com for $100 off your first month. Also, I want everyone to have a Solo Stove. So here's the best deal in town. Go to solostove.com and enter promo code NATE for $10 off. That's promo code NATE at solostove.com. You get $10 off. It's a smokeless fire pit from Solo Stove. Makes your outdoor moments even more fun because instead of having to constantly smell like campfire fumes, you can sit back and actually enjoy the fire. That's promo code NATE at solostove.com for $10 off your order. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you. This is we're recording this a week early. I'm gone when this is out.
Where are you?
Somewhere. Ooh, possibly Chicago for something, but not a show. Something else. And then, but this weekend, I'm in Naples, Florida, June 11th to the 13th, doing some shows down there. And then you have a show this weekend as well.
Yeah, Zanies, headlining Zanies this Sunday, the 13th, 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Get home, like we said. You get home nice and early. 4 p.m. I bet people like that on a Sunday.
Yeah,
I would like a 4 p.m. show on a Sunday.
It's good to be done with the day that early.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you just go home, tap out.
yeah. That'd always be like when you could do shows, which I think I've said before, like at noon, and you're like, I'm already done. I've already worked. I've already done a set.
Right.
Got a set in. It's noon.
Yeah.
Feels like you got something else that no one else,
Yeah.
someone else got in. I like it.
And you're in Alaska.
I am. Wow. That's weird to think about. Yeah, I will be. I don't know where in Alaska, but I'm there right now,
All
Right
right.
now.
All right.
living it up.
Flying over on a train, planes, and automobiles
Yeah.
of Alaska.
No walking, dude.
No walking.
That was the deal breaker. She said, we can
Yeah.
go anywhere. I said, only if we can't, I don't have to walk
You want
anywhere.
cold weather. You think Alaska is a real big man vacation? Like, I wonder if, like, because usually, like, bigger guys like they like it nice and cold. Does that make sense?
I love it nice and cold.
Yeah,
So I bet there are a lot of guys that look like me
Yeah.
up there
yeah.
trying to get away from the beach.
A lot of women too.
What do you say? You go to a
There's,
hotel.
Just big guys, big women out there. Y'all just doing tackling drills. I don't know. I like to picture that.
Just
You're
get
in
there,
you're in the
run
bull,
Oklahoma.
running the
up there.
bull. Yeah, a bunch of people, just people in the wild running Oklahoma, just in the backyard, like.
When you're in a hotel room, what do you set the thermometer at?
When I go to bed, I set it to like I want to say I had like this weekend was like 67. Hotels can be sneaky.
That's pretty chilly.
It's pretty chilly.
Yeah.
Like, but it was. It's pretty sneaky how cold a room can get.
Mhm.
I don't want to wake up. You can wake up with a sore throat
Yeah.
if you get too cold.
Yeah,
69 maybe something
Mhm.
like that.
right around there.
Yeah. Where do you go?
72 always feels like too hot to me. I
Yeah.
know that's supposed to be the standard. 72.
Yeah, I like to hit the high 60s,
Yeah, I'll go
especially
down.
when I go to bed.
You can get some of these down to 50, 58.
You go there?
I have before.
Yeah.
Most of the time I wake up middle of the night like, okay, I'm pretty cold.
Yeah.
Then I turn it up,
Yeah.
but feels great
Get
Yeah.
underneath those
when
blankets.
it's first getting going.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's the best.
Yeah. Do you click the heat on?
When I get up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I feel a draft.
Yeah. You talk to the cleaning staff as they start cleaning rooms. You're out in the hall. They always start so early. What time do they have to be there? Cleaning staff.
I feel like they never leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get there like 6, 7. Like, I think what's the early? I feel like I've had someone knock on my door at like 7 or 8 to try to clean the room.
Oh,
and you're
that's
like, what are you
so
doing?
early. Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think?
So
I was
early.
doing?
Yeah. Like in a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess do a lot of people get up that early?
Maybe people are there for work like throughout the week.
Yeah.
Maybe people are getting up that early.
I feel like in your hotel, it's like you don't do anything before 9.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're in a hotel, like so, I
Mhm.
guess people are up at 7 or 8, but you're not out of the room.
No.
I would think cleaning can't start till 9.
You're not ready to have a stranger knock on your door.
But I guess if people are flying home, a lot of people fly
Early flights, yeah.
early flights. That's the big secret. If people always think that when you go to an airport, if you're at a 6 a.m. flight, that airport's going to be packed. It will always be packed. People show up and they think, well, it's 6 a.m. No
Yeah.
one's flying at 6 a.m. No, everybody is. If you have that thought, everybody has that thought.
Yeah.
No one flies at noon. That's
Right.
when you want to fly.
Uh-huh.
That's when you go. That's as I've learned just being on the road, I like leaving even 10:30. I like something like that. But a noon flight, you breeze through security. It'll be great. All right. That's it. Here's the comments: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Apple Podcast reviews, and Nate Land at NateBurgetsy.com. Travis Bottles. Nate, you and bratwurst and sour gout. Pretty good. Have made my days as a UPS driver unbelievable. The downfall is me cracking up while a man simultaneously fell off his porch. He assumed I was hysterically laughing at him and proceeded to basically go full-blown Andrew Jackson duel on his front lawn. When I apologized to him and told him I was listening to a comedy podcast, he said, yeah, what's so funny about it? I told him it was the cast of Seinfeld, where from Tennessee. Hold on, I think I'm reading this. I think I started that sentence wrong. I told him it was like the cast of Seinfeld were from Tennessee, and his furry immediately disappeared. I was golly, man. Hold on, let's get back into it. Hold on, Don't start the clock.
Yeah.
Don't start the clock yet. Hold on. That's 2 false starts. Third one, I'm out. Yeah, what's so funny about it? I told him it was like the cast of Seinfeld were from Tennessee, and his fury immediately disappeared. And he said, Nate Land. And just like that, crisis averted. It's pretty cool, man.
That's pretty awesome.
2 folks. Almost got into it.
Yep.
That's what we are as folks. All of us folks, me, all of us listening, you guys, we will fight. But if you just do one nice thing, then we kind of go, we don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But we will.
Mm-hmm.
He was.
He was about to.
Justin Spear. I joined a work Zoom meeting of 100 people and immediately heard some guy talking that sounded like Nate. It was uncanny. My interest peaked further when he started talking about Disney princesses. Long story short, I found out one of the folks who forgot to hit mute. If this small sample size is any indication, 2% of the world population listens. Oh, that's funny. God, I'm reading it's not happening today.
Yeah. These are
We're off to a bad
two
start.
tough ones.
These are big ones. Yeah, these are too hard. Like, well, what was in the sentence? Disney princesses. That's a tough. Those back to back.
Fury.
Or Fury, and of course everybody thought it was furry.
Yeah.
So that guy's just listening to it, and then that's 2 back to back odd. Like the odds of that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Have you heard? Speaking of a voice, have you heard the head coach of Tennessee talk? Have people told you that he sounds like you?
Yeah, I have. I've had people say that. I don't know if I've heard him talk.
You want to hear him talk for a second?
Yeah.
We do is lock down our borders. We have to keep kids inside of this state here. And that's for multiple reasons. They're going to come play championship caliber football.
Yeah.
I think we owe Josh Heupel an apology.
Oh no, there are a lot of clips. I found a clip earlier where it sounds exactly like.
I mean, that clip started off. We got to keep the borders closed, and you're just sitting there like, oh yeah, Tennessee head football coach. He knows his audience. He goes, we got to keep the borders closed. All right, what about the football? Oh yeah, sorry, completely forgot. We got a great schedule coming out this year. Very exciting. He just gets off. He just gets off on a tangent, dude. Like he just sits there.
Oh man.
I don't think that one was.
Campus, and hopefully throughout our entire state here in Tennessee. And when you do those things, great things are capable of happening.
You don't hear that? He's got the same cadence as you.
Yeah, I think when he said empowered, he had to think about it like me. I think he said his wife because I want to use empowered today. And they go, all right, Well, do your border talk. He goes, obviously. I start everything with keeping our borders closed.
There's a
everything he said is basically a hint for this country. Like, but he's using it as just Tennessee. We got to keep our borders.
Oh yeah.
You know, you need IDs to come to school here. And you're like, what? What's he mean?
Oh yeah.
There's a New York comic who did an impersonation of you. I think it's a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But there's a video of him on YouTube. It's very funny. I assumed you've seen it.
I think so. Is it the Stick or Treat? I know Stick or Treat, which is a great.
It's a Halloween show, right?
Yeah,
that Mark Norman hosts.
Yeah. Such a good idea for a show. So every Halloween they have comedians go up and they do impressions of like comedians and they do their act. It's just such a really good idea for a show, and it's like very fun. It's like a party, and like it's a good time.
That's cool.
My name is Nate, and I'm from Tennessee. That's why I talk like I'm not. What am I saying? Starting good, I love it.
Casey McGowan. Casey McGowan.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's got.
I know it's like always like when you hear if you hear that you're like, oh man, what do I sound like?
It would be weird to hear somebody do an impression of you on stage. I've never had that.
Yeah. One day you probably won't, but if
he's got the mannerisms down,
everything's down. I mean, the way it started good, going good. Like I like it. Yeah,
that's great.
I didn't get him to open and he goes out first and does that.
Just as you?
Yeah, I'll get him to just do all the old jokes.
Yeah.
Like, Casey McGowan. Scott Wilson. When Nate is on other podcasts, he talks about Nateland like it's something he's just trying out, just being super modest about having the best podcast about nothing. Thank you.
Is it modest or embarrassed?
It's like, probably introducing a lot of your family. Like we met your family at the wedding where you're like, no, he's a cousin. But look, we love him. We love him. No, it's, I'm never embarrassed. I really enjoy doing this podcast. I think it's very fun. It's fun to be funny. I think it's helped me with my stand-up. And then I always just feel I'm at the age group that podcast was dumb. And I feel embarrassed to have one. And everybody's like, well, I got a podcast. Yeah. Everybody's got a podcast. So that's always in my head. That thought is always in my head. I haven't fully just gone and be like, yeah, our podcast is it's like, I don't know. That's always been in my head. I mean, I come from the generation that when this all started, like now, if you're a young comic, I mean, podcasts are just a part of the scene.
Yeah.
But where I was, it was like, we had one a long time ago when no one had one. And then everybody has one. That's why starting one, I was like, I don't know. Like, I didn't want to be another comic with another podcast. Like, that's what you don't. So you kind of think that. But I am very proud of this podcast. I like this podcast and I enjoy it. I love everybody. I mean, the fact that all these people are listening, and I do think we're doing something different. And so that's where I am proud. And I do like it, is that if I am going to do something, I at least want it to be different. And I know there's not a ton of clean comedian podcast. Not that is what I'm going for, but it's like, it's just the angles, we talk about nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a podcast about nothing. Yeah. And I do like that. Teresa Morwood. Got to love when Bacon Bits defends his research with according to this. Like he doesn't know where it came from. Love the podcast.
I love that. Like
that's fair.
Like you were just handed all this research.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, what do you want me to do?
She called me. She's right about that. I sometimes say, according to this. Well, like I'm the one that looked this up.
Yeah.
And I acted like I didn't do it.
Yeah.
So that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Hannah Perino. I listen to a number of podcasts, and this is the only one that I don't skip through the ads while listening. Nate reading them is pure gold. Thank you, Hannah. And I hope our ad people hear that and understand that I get through it. I get through it the way I get through it. Carlotta Simonson. It's a lot of letters right there, Carlotta. All right, see what I did. Is that how you say it?
That looks right.
I would say Simonson.
Simonson. That makes more sense. Carlotta Simonson. You guys should hold a drawing for Nate's tickets or merch for the listener who submits the best tagline for the podcast. I bet people would come up with some really great ones. Thanks for all the great laughs. We could do something like that. We could do some merch for sure. I mean, I could see where you're at. I'll give someone tickets. They can have tickets to the show.
Sacramento?
Yeah, you want to come to Sacramento? All the tickets you want. You're going to have a section of just people I've promised tickets to. And with what's his name? With
Jaden?
With Jaden
with
and
the
his
kid.
Dad. What's his dad? Or
Eddie?
His whole family's
His whole
there
family.
right now. Yeah.
And Eddie's wife is sitting in a seat by herself on the other side of the room. Yeah, we could do something like that. So what would we do? Like, just whoever can submit the best tagline for to describe the podcast.
Yeah, I think they're referencing, a couple weeks ago, we're like, how would you describe this show?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could do that. Right? Can you handle that?
Sure.
As much as, can you handle all the submissions?
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Let's do it. So I always act like I'm like, before you say something, like, let me see if we can do, like, you're like, there's no one I talk to. Like, it's me, like, I've thought that a little bit more even with my career, where I've thought like, well, I don't know, can I do that? Like, 'cause you when you come up, like, can I bring someone with me to feature? You're not allowed to do that. Like, your openers, like the comedy clubs book their openers, and you're like, you just get told what to do, and then you go do this, and then it is funny. You finally switch into, I can do whatever I want to do. Like, it's whatever I think is best for the show, and then they just go, well, what do you when I do a theater, it's like, all right, what do we got? I'll probably have 2 comics on the theater shows and then me. It's like, but I'm in charge of like all that stuff. But you still like kind of go like, how many people can I bring? Like, you still want to ask someone, and you're like, yeah, there's no one to ask.
Do whatever you want, man.
Yeah, it's your show. Yeah. Yeah. And so I did that with that. Yeah, we'll do that. So that could be fun, because then we could have people, we'll read the votes. I know people, if you want on social media, it's like follow us on, follow the Nate Land podcast on social media. Because we'll be able to post, all these, a lot of clips on there, this kind of stuff. So let's say it's got to go through, or I was gonna say it's got to go through social media, but some people might not have social media.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and I don't think they should get. If you don't want it, don't go get it.
Yeah,
I was gonna say maybe email.
Yeah, that's easier.
Yeah, because you can be a little lengthier and.
But they're just doing a tag. But it's got to be a quick tagline.
Yeah.
What did we say? It's the question.
We
answer to a question nobody's asked.
So we'll put that in there, because that deserves to be in there.
Yeah.
An answer to a question that no one asked. So like that's one of them. Yeah. So something like that. How would you describe it in this podcast? And when you got to tell someone and they got to go wrap your head around, it's a log line. If you ever, all the people out here writing scripts, but a log line is it's an elevator pitch. How do you tell someone, that's my favorite line, Greg Giraldo, Last Comic Standing, when they were talking about some movie, and what's his name? Craig Robinson, I think, was on the stage, and he goes, I got a movie coming out, and he goes, it's a Hot Tub Time Machine, and Greg goes, oh, what's that about? What's a hot tub? There's a time machine. Oh, okay, all right.
I'm still getting emails from people telling me what they're giving up, and they're
oh yeah.
I'm like, dude, he's been off of that for like 4 months. We don't care.
I forgot about that.
He gave up on giving up. Dude, he gave up on giving up, dude.
They're like, Nate changed my life. I'm like, dude, that lasted 4 days.
Yeah. We got them started. Yep. What are they giving up?
I mean, who knows?
All
I
kinds
just
of
tell
stuff?
them stop sending me stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe you need to pick it back up.
Alcohol, drugs.
Oh, good.
Like,
well, keep doing that.
Heavy stuff. Yeah, keep doing it.
Keep doing that stuff. I haven't drank, so there you go. I quit that. There you go.
Yeah, man.
So there you go. I quit. The sugar's been a little bit harder. I'll be honest. But I'll start the your little, do it. Aaron didn't tell anybody.
That's the move.
That's the move. You just show up looking thin.
Yeah.
And then, but then the other move is when we come back and go, I guess he's off that.
Yeah, dude. That could happen, man.
You're gonna know that when you're just y'all come to a Nateland episode and you're just facing forward and you're like, why is Aaron not looking straight ahead? You're like, he must have got off the intermittent fasting.
You just noticed me starting to grow up big head of hair.
Yeah.
I don't tell anybody I've been on Keeps.
Yeah, using Keeps. Dude.
This is a whole different group. Well, we maybe if you have some of those lists, we may read them. We'll read them the next week when we do a podcast, just to call people out, let them know I do like people quitting stuff.
Yeah,
if they want to. Greg Cannon. I mean, if you're looking for something that sums up this podcast for your friends, look no further than Civilian Stations clip. Aaron's line, "Nobody's ever made that mistake before," should be in the description of Nateland. That's a pretty good one.
Yep.
Nobody's ever made that mistake before.
I like it.
It's like the wording of that, nobody's ever made that mistake before. It's like that wording, but it's got to be worded a little bit different.
Mistakes.
To describe.
Yeah.
Mistakes What's this podcast? It's a show about mistakes. You're going to watch this. Yeah. I don't know. Mistakes that nobody's ever made before. Yeah. But that is a good way to describe it. Yeah. I like that one. Well, we're going to be getting a bunch of them. Send them. Yeah. Mark Johnson. Nate announcing that his next comment was going to be off topic was as funny as it gets during a podcast where 95% of the comments are off topic. I sometimes have to check to see what the episode is about to reconnect my brain. Keep them coming, guys. You make every Wednesday morning seem like a Christmas morning. See?
So rare.
That's why, why we talk about this is why I love the podcast, because of you, all you listeners. This is why. This is the audience you would want to perform in front of. By far the best audience. I mean, they just get it. Nothing's taken seriously.
Right.
You can't, it's not just pent up anger. It's like, be funny, and then that's it. Because it's like they got to get, people always get mad with like comics and they want to get rid of them. And I always think of it, you got to, in a comic's brain, if they do a joke that's offensive, they are just thinking about that joke. They have no feelings about the person they could be making fun of or what that does. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but just so you understand where the idea comes, it is just straight up, what can I do to make you laugh in this situation?
Yeah.
And then they try it. And so, yes, sometimes it's awful and mean, but it's, but I think this audience, like, that's why I love this. The audience just gets it. Like, it's like, it's like you weed out all the people that are like, this podcast is about nothing. You're like, see you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And then everybody else, it's like, it's great, dude. Like, it's just, Reed Jones, I would love to hear y'all talk more about callbacks and comedy. I feel like I've heard so many comedians talk about how callbacks can just be for cheap laughs, and your conversation about that seemed to bend that way. But couldn't you argue that much of the humor of this actual podcast is built around callbacks? In fact, right after you were talking about callbacks being overused in comedy, the next comment included a callback to the Blanchard family from previous episodes. So where is the line when it comes to callbacks and comedy? Well, the line is, I mean, when I do it, it's okay. And when everybody else does it, it's not. I think callbacks in this setting are good. Like it's this, and like what we're doing here is like, it's a world. It's like Seinfeld calling stuff back. It's like, this is a very inside joke. This is a very like, hey, we're all buddies just hanging out. So the callbacks are just, you do a lot of callbacks to your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, so I think stand-up and podcast callbacks are very different. I actually like them a lot in podcast because I like the feeling of family, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that everybody, you got so many people that can kind of go like Civilian Stations, and they're like, oh, yeah. And I like being like, no, it's nice to be like, if you don't get it, you don't get it. Callbacks and stand-up. I've got a couple right now. There's always a lot of places for them. I won't do a call. I used to not like them at all. I think now I will only do them if I don't think the audience knows I'm doing them. So if the audience goes, why don't you call that back? If you're in the audience and you can come up and tell me that, hey, you should have done a call back there. I don't do it because you thought that. So that like it's too obvious. But if I can do it where you're not expecting it, then I'll do it.
It's the same with the podcast though. There are times people say, why didn't you guys do a callback to this? And it's because it's too obvious. Like the president who was poisoned by drinking ice milk, I guess.
Yeah.
And people say, well, you just totally missed that opportunity to reference it. Well, that's too obvious.
Yeah. I don't think I thought about it either then.
Oh, well, never mind then.
But it's,
well, also it's just, that would be every line you could call back.
You could call back something.
Just get watered down with it over.
Yeah.
You know.
I do. I don't mind callbacks. I like them.
And say you have a few in your last special.
Yeah. There's definitely becoming a little bit more. You just don't want it to feel like it's like like it's like if a callback feels like see how I did all that? Yeah. Like I don't want it to feel like that.
Yeah.
I want it to feel very natural, and so it's got to just feel like it happens.
Yeah, the worst is you have it where you get like a ayo. That's the worst.
I mean, I'll quit comedy. That's dude, like if you're like, oh gosh, I'm that now. Like the dead horse, people would always say, "What's the horse line? Beat a dead
horse.
Can't beat a dead horse." So people would always be like, "Why don't you say that in it?" And I did think of that.
Yeah.
But then everybody thinks of that.
Yeah.
So I don't say that because I should be better at this than you.
Well,
this is what I do. Like not in an arrogant way, but I'm a professional comedian. I shouldn't always do the thing that immediately pops in your head. Sometimes you have to.
Right.
So I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but you try not to.
Well, you're also playing 3D chess in a way, Nate, because you are beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
So you don't need to use that term. You're doing it.
Exactly.
You're very meta in that way.
Ooh, I like that. Finally, some Notre Dame's paying off.
Look at it. What about Eddie Cat?
Cat.
Exactly. Eddie Cat, dude.
I don't remember Eddie Cat.
There's a joke about etiquette. Lady said you should say Eddie Cat.
Oh, Eddie Cat. That's right. Yeah, Eddie Cat. Yeah. You do that sound.
If I did that, people would start to get like, "What are we?
Yeah.
What are we watching?
What is this?
What is this guy?"
Yeah.
You just say etiquette.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got a Carhartt shirt on. I was confused by that. I thought it was going to be a lot of like kind of a Tim Allen
chicken
vibe.
On his head.
Yeah. Lauren Lindsay. I pay big bucks for an audiobook narrated by Nate without any edits. I would want to see if people could get through it.
Yeah.
Lauren, I'd want to see if you could if she could buckle down.
Yeah.
And it'd be a wild ride.
If you wrote a book, would you do the audiobook version of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I do want to write a book.
Do you know what about?
No.
Well, just your autobiography.
Autobiography. I do want to write an autobiography. You know what? I should write an autobiography just now. Then I'm like, here's what I think's going to happen. And the last pages are just what I think's going to happen. And then be the opposite. I had agents, like they talked about me writing a book. Like, I think when you should write a book. I think I could.
Yeah.
But I think you kind of know if you're supposed to. I would like to write a book. I think it'd be I can't read. I'd like to write it for
There's a title. Right
yeah, that is a good title. Yeah. I can't even read my own book.
By Nate Bargatze.
And it's just squibbly lines. I mean, that's like the Stone. I want it to be like the Stone Cold's book. It's like, I'm gonna tell you something. I went over there wrestling the other day. Like that, his book reads like that.
Yeah.
He's just like.
Does he do an audiobook of him reading it? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. I've never listened to an audiobook. That's a big thing now.
Yeah.
And I never did it. It feels weird because I think a car ride I could see why you would do it.
Yeah.
I still like a book. I don't even like reading it on like an iPad. But always to me, it feels like you're reading a book. You're just sitting like this, and you're like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "I'm reading a book," and then you just sit there, and then you're like, "Like, what do you?" I don't know what you got to pay attention.
Yeah,
and you got to sit and He's sitting there going, I would love to hear you, like just reading something and you're just, yeah, you get startled. What's going on? Reading a book, dude. Back up.
Yeah,
Just
trying to read.
trying to read here for a second. I feel like you look dumb. Does it make you look dumber?
If you listen to an
Audiobook?
audiobook? Nah, people are doing it.
That's like
I
smart.
mean, usually driving, right?
Usually driving, yeah. Tough to read while driving.
Wendy Barlow. I have lived in Iowa my entire life and have a standard Midwestern accent. I also have a PhD in literacy education. Regardless, I've listened to your podcast so much that I caught myself saying, he don't care the other day while talking to one of my employees. Thanks for dumbing me down, guys. He don't care.
He don't care.
Mike Terry, just realized my granddaughter looks like Brian Bates. Huh.
There's a picture.
We got her pulled up.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Oh, bless her heart.
What's in her eye?
Yeah, that's the cursor. That does look like you, man.
That does. I mean, that's, yeah. Oh.
Cute baby, though.
Yeah.
Obviously. She needs to do
Keeps.
some hair. Yeah, some keeps. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
Even look, I mean, it's smiling, but it
Yeah.
looks a little worried.
She was born 40. How old is she? She's 40 years old. She's got a squirrel problem. It's a lot of callbacks. All right, trying to balance work, home, relationships, and maybe looking like Brian Bates. Everything is challenging for everyone. And because now more than ever, it is a good idea to seek out just a little extra help for your busy, demanding lives. Therapy can help you shift your outlook, be more positive, and find tools to cope in difficult times. A great thing is therapy is affordable. And that is usually what stops people from talking to someone. You think it's expensive. It's not. Talkspace is a fraction of the cost of in-person therapy. Instead of waiting for an appointment, you can send and receive unlimited messages to your therapist 24/7. They respond to you daily, 5 days a week. Talkspace is also very secure and private since they use the latest encryption technology to store client information. No one knows you're talking to them. It's been a crazy, everybody's dealt with so much stuff. If you feel alone, you need to go talk to Talkspace. Just talk to them and make it feels better. You will learn that we're all crazy. And they will tell you that to let you know. We're all crazy. We all need to talk to someone. Y'all need help. It's a good thing to go do. As a listener to this podcast, you will get $100 off your first month with Talkspace to match with a licensed therapist today. Go to Talkspace.com. Make sure to use the code NATE to get $100 off of your first month and show support for the show. That's promo code NATE and Talkspace.com for $100 off of your first month. Also, Solo Stove. During the summer, we have winter we did it. We were outside a bunch. Now we just did it the other night, and we were out with our neighbors using it and then building a fire. And the Solo Stove is the perfect addition that we've done. My neighbor Felix, the famous Felix, he just got one. He ordered it using all our codes and got a lot off. And he loves it. There's no smoke. There's it's the best, dude. You can be around it. It's close. It makes an awesome looking fire too. The Solo Stove has been so much better than any fire pit I've been around. It's I'll be honest with you, I don't know how they get the smoke. That doesn't make sense. Where's the smoke going? But it's going somewhere. But you don't smell like a campfire, which is great. There's no setup, just unbox and enjoy. I mean, Laura had this fire going so fast, and she knows how to do more stuff. Anyway, a little fire starter wood, and you can have a nice fire quickly. We have the bonfire version with the stand. It is small enough to take to the front or the back, or if we go to the lake, we can easily take it there. You can throw it in the back of your car. It burns down to white ash, so cleanup is super easy. Solo Stove creates great times. It's a stainless steel construction designed to regulate airflow and burn more efficiently. They are also so confident you will love it. They offer a lifetime warranty and a 30-day free return policy. No one needs a reason to gather around the fire. Solo Stove just took away any reason not to. And now you can get $10 off when you use promo code NATE at checkout. Just go to solostove.com And remember, you get $10 off when you use promo code Nate. That's promo code Nate at solostove.com for $10 off your order. All right, this week, we actually back to top. I have a topic. Back to topic.
Back on topic.
Back on topic. We were off topic.
Yeah.
Now we're back on it.
It's inline versus online. That always makes me.
That's a big New York thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all New York.
Yeah, I'm online at the bank.
So
were you?
with online, I remember I never heard that. Did you ever hear that before in New York?
No, I heard
Yeah.
it from King of Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never heard anybody ever say that. So if no one knows in New York, if they're standing in line, they say I'm online. So if you go to the grocery store and there's a line, you're like, well, I'm waiting online at this grocery store. So that's what they say. So then I remember going to New York, and it was like during the election, whenever 2008 or something like that, and I just hear on the news like, yeah, they voted today online. I went online and voted today, and I was like, you can vote online, dude? I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, that's crazy. And I started like looking it up, and I couldn't find. I was like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a long time. And then I finally realized, oh, that's what they say, that they say online.
Yeah.
And they would say, because here's a philosophy question. Is it inline or online? You're the line. What's the line? You're the line. Are you in it? Are you on top of it? Online, inline.
I think you're a part of the line.
So you'd be in the line.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
What makes a line a line?
Yeah.
I mean, the line is just the
It's the
shortest
people.
distance between 2 points. That's what a line
But the
is.
people decide what the line is.
Okay.
So are you in it? So that's what I mean. You're not on the line because there's not a line on the ground. You're in it. You're the line.
You are the line.
You are the line.
So
So
that's
you're
what we
in
should
line.
be saying. I'm the line at
Yeah.
the grocery store.
I'm the line. I joined the line at this grocery store.
It's like I'm stuck in traffic, but you are the traffic.
Yeah.
You know?
But saying stuck in traffic is really, you're trashing everybody around you because you're going, I'm not the reason for this
Right.
traffic, but I'm
Right.
stuck in the nonsense of these morons
Right.
on this interstate. Yeah. So that's where, I don't know. Yeah. Online, inline.
Hmm.
All right. Well,
Let's get back on topic.
Yeah.
now, huh?
Golly. Never felt I had to carry this podcast more than I did right at that moment. So a couple weeks ago we talked about we want to talk about the royal family, and I was very curious about the royal family.
Yeah, I knew nothing about the royal family,
Mhm.
and I still know almost nothing about it. But we talked about what power does the queen really have
Mm-hmm.
over prime minister, and I don't know very well. But so the United Kingdom,
Do you like prime minister as better than president? I like saying we know president.
President
Prime
feels
minister feels like it's
better to me.
Yeah, president. You're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's the guy. Prime minister. You're like, yeah, he's up there, but he's
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to talk to some. Like the prime minister, I feel like could get away with going. I gotta. What I was talking about earlier, like how when you run the show, prime minister's like, I gotta run this by so many people.
Yeah.
And the president, you're like, the president can't say that. He goes,
Right.
I gotta run it. You're like, well, you're the president.
Yeah. The buck stops
Yeah,
here,
the
buddy.
buck stops. You're the one that decides it.
Yeah.
The prime minister's got to be like, I gotta talk to someone else, and then
We
you-
call the queen in.
He could probably even go, I gotta call the other prime minister, and you're like, there's two of them, and you would be like, oh yeah, yeah, of course. You would you're like, yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple.
He goes, I got a minister. Like, who's that? He's like, just gotta go to church with.
I mean, I'm the prime one, but
I'm the prime minister.
we do have
but-
others.
But there are other ministers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I always liked Minister of Defense.
Minister of Defense. Is that what they call it over there?
I don't know. I've
I
heard
say
that.
Secretary of Defense is what it's
I
here.
think
no,
it's-
there's a football player who's the minister of defense.
Yeah. I think it's a label for.
Well, I mean, there is, but I think a football player,
Reggie White was called the Minister of Defense.
Okay,
Yeah.
but he got it because
Yeah.
that is a real title.
Yeah.
That's just
Lloyd Austin,
And that's Defense Minister.
Secretary of Defense.
He's a Defense Minister.
Secretary of Defense
Right.
is yeah, what is he? So the defender, he like takes his notes.
that's it. There's a minister of
answers
defense
his own,
in
hello?
India.
Defense. Defense, Mr. Defense. He's the Secretary of the Defense. So he goes,
Defense's office.
defense's office.
He's not the.
And everything goes, whoa, 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 whoa. We didn't say any of that because they're always on defense. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's
A little defensive today.
Whoa, a little defensive today, aren't we? A little jumpy, huh? Because I didn't say anything. That's what I think of Secretary of Defense.
Be like the receptionist of the defense.
Yeah.
So the United Kingdom is a constitutional monarchy, meaning they have a monarchy, the Queen or King, but they also have a constitution with elected officials and laws and such. So the monarch, in this case Queen Elizabeth, shares power with the government. She's the head of state, but all political power rests with the prime minister. He's the head of government. So,
no, I checked out during a lot of that.
All right. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is there a woman more famous in the world than Queen Elizabeth?
Oprah?
No, not more than Queen Elizabeth.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you could argue. I mean, you got to look at like Oprah. Everybody knows Oprah, but there's a younger generation that does not know her. When her show's been off the air, she's not around.
You don't think like your daughter's generation knows who Oprah is?
I mean, there's no way my daughter knows
Really?
who Oprah is.
Does she know like Ariana Grande?
No, but she's 8. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I mean, she might, maybe, I guess, if she heard a song or something. I don't know if we're letting her listen to Ariana Grande.
Taylor Swift? Because you have all her
Yeah, she knows
albums.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And then, but like, she knows her, like, is like, oh, Taylor Swift. I don't think if she met Taylor Swift, I don't think it would be like she would even really know. She would be more excited about meeting now a YouTuber or something.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Would she be pumped about meeting the Queen, you think?
I mean, she's 8. So, yeah, we're talking
But
like she's in
so
college.
You're that age, you love kings and queens and princesses and
but
stuff
you
like
don't
that.
know what's going on. I mean, her dad is not teaching her any of this. So, I don't think she's, going to be, unless she hears it from my mom. But I think Queen Elizabeth I think she's way more famous than Oprah. I mean, like, she's like, there's going to be other countries, dude. Like, everybody just knows the insanity that, I mean, and it's a great thing. I mean, she's been alive forever, dude.
Yeah.
She's been queen for almost 70 years.
I mean, it's
70
crazy,
years.
dude.
Longer than any other monarch. in history.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's impressive. But if you're talking about fame, I think you remove her from the context of being queen. Like, take her off the throne, put her flower hat away. How many people do you think will know that that's her? You just see her walking around like a Kroger.
You would recognize her face. You would go,
I don't think I would, dude.
Yeah. You would go, I know her from somewhere. Like, just like Oprah's more recognizable because of that. Her face is, I mean, dude, it's just been everywhere. Like, you just talked about her. Oprah's interview would probably interview her, if not, or would want to.
Yeah.
So you got to think, like, I know Oprah's huge, but she's not more famous than Queen Elizabeth.
Okay.
I mean, she's been, dude, so many people know her. And you go see the castle if you go over there, see her house. Like, it's, I don't think it's even. I don't think it's even close. And I think Oprah took a big hit. And where's Oprah? I mean, you've seen her. The only reason she's popped up is because she interviewed Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Other than that, I don't even know what she's been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you follow her, but if you don't, like, she was in your face.
She was everywhere. Right?
Everywhere.
For so long.
And like, now that she kind of backs off, everybody obviously knows who she is. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there's going to be a younger generation that they're not going to know who Oprah is.
I think, not to harp on that, I think Michelle Obama is more well known than the Queen is.
Dude, I mean, Queen Elizabeth is such a famous name. Like, you just know the name. Like,
you know the name, right?
I mean, I could see maybe if her and Michelle Obama are, if Queen Elizabeth walks in Kroger and Oprah walks in Kroger, yeah, I could maybe see that more people are going to notice Oprah. And she's so recognizable. And if the Queen,
There was a story that Queen Elizabeth, I think she was in Scotland at one of her vacation homes, and she was out for a walk. An American tourist came up to her and said, ask where the Queen lived. And I think and then they said, "Have you ever met the Queen?" And she said, "I haven't, but he has," pointing to her bodyguard. So she was very funny on the spot.
Oh, that's funny.
Now I
That's
think she wasn't wearing the hat. She's probably wearing
Yeah.
a scarf around her head, and she's a old woman out on a walk. So you don't
Yeah.
expect that to be the Queen. But she was very funny
Yeah.
off the cuff.
And did she finally say, "I'm the queen"?
I don't know. The story was from the security guard. I don't think she ever told him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy because she probably that's a funny story for her. And then that's like John Stockton in the Last Dance
Mm-hmm.
when they were in Paris and everybody's wearing the Dream Team shirts.
Uh-huh.
I think it was Last Dance.
This
Or
was
is it,
the Dream Team documentary.
Yeah.
Alright.
And he walks up and he's filming it. He walks up and they go, "We just love the Dream Team. It's our favorite." And then she doesn't know who he is. He's on her shirt.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But he did. Did you see that? He did.
It was
He
the
had
other
no-
players couldn't go anywhere because they
Yeah.
were so instantly recognizable.
John Stockton had a normal vacation.
Yeah, he just would.
Went out with his family,
Yeah.
filmed stuff. Would walk up to him, just had a regular vacation. No one knew. But the other, but like Jordan, Barkley, I mean, they couldn't even
Can't get
walk
off
out of
the
the
bus.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
She her full name is Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor. So they're the House of Windsor,
hmm
and they change names once they move up in royalty, or they can if they so choose. That was Elizabeth was her name, but Prince Charles is next in line. Obviously, when she passes, he'll be king, and they said he could change his name to King Edward or something like that.
Well, Charles, like off of Charles, it's got to be off of their thing.
He can keep. He could just keep Charles.
I know, but is Edward like from Charles? Like, is that like Chuck?
Oh no.
Like,
No, those are two totally
Yeah.
different names.
so you just literally can change your name.
Yeah, usually it's
You could be
maybe
the Steve.
it's I think the name of a previous monarch,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
there was a Queen Elizabeth I, and she's Queen Elizabeth II.
Oh.
And that's as far down as they've gone. They've only made it to 2.
For Elizabeth.
Oh, there's a
Just
bunch
for-
more for then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just picture that's how long she's been around. Since the whole beginning of this, we've only had 2. And you're like, golly, this is kind of new. You're like, no, they both just have been alive forever, dude. Like, so there'll be a queen, and then next will be a king.
Well, Prince Charles is next in line. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then he'll be the king.
Yep.
That they're sisters. That's his mom.
Yes.
And then he's the king.
Yeah.
And then will he have a queen? Or
Well,
is it always
his wife will be the Queen consort or something like that. Not technically the ruler, but
you have to be bloodline?
yes.
So then, and then after him will be Prince William,
Yep.
the king,
Yep.
and then
William's kids.
William's kids.
Yeah, so it goes straight down like I would think maybe Harry would be after
Yeah.
William, but it goes to William's kids.
So you got to have multiple kids.
Yeah, I mean, what's William got now? 3, I think.
Yeah.
And then if something happened to those kids, you gotta go through them before it gets to Harry.
Yeah.
So I looked up, there are 61 possible succession to the throne. And the first 8 or 10 we probably have heard of at least. It's one of those people or their kids. But
Yeah.
then you get to about 15. It's just people who
Right.
have jobs.
Yeah.
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 Just a guy who's got to go about his life.
Yeah.
He's working, selling real estate
Wow.
Oh, really?
yeah, I mean,
According to
especially-
Yeah.
this?
especially, yeah, according to this.
Yeah, well, not enough to live in the castle. They're just out there.
Like,
I mean-
would they not even be allowed in the castle?
I mean, so much would have to happen. It's
Yeah.
like, during the State of the Union, they always leave one person.
Yeah, they leave like the Secretary of Labor's
Somebody that-
deputy.
I mean,
whatever.
everybody would have
Yeah.
to die.
Yeah.
But number 61 here.
He just sits in that person just sits in that room. He goes, he's talking to the Secret Service. He goes, I know it seems like nothing now. It feels dumb in here, right? It could be dumb or it could get real, real.
Yeah.
And every time he comes to that room, they're like, we only lost 3 people. God. How close was it?
Have you gotten that far in the West Wing yet, where they have a scene about that? Or did
No.
you give up on the West Wing?
I've not watched any more of it. But I need to go back to it. I'll go back to it. I started watching this show called Startup.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was on Netflix. It's really good at like making you like think, oh, what's next?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a pretty way different show than the Western.
Yeah. Is
I
it
think
that-
he was watching the Westworld.
the Westworld.
No, I can
It's
never
like,
watch
oh,
that. That always like
robots.
showed like people get cut up and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like I'm out. Like
There-
showing like someone. How do these things, these movies, or shows, they show like who wants to see this?
Mhm.
Are we not done with that? Like the horror aspect of it, like to be like, you know what? Show this scene just cutting down someone's arm as they're you're like, just do it, dude. Or they're showing the inside of someone. You're like, is there not anything that's just left where we a little imagination?
Yeah.
I got to see the inside of an arm
Yeah.
on the show. I don't even watch the show because of that.
Uh-huh.
I don't even get to enjoy it.
It's scarier not to see it sometimes. Just kind of tilt the camera
That's
away.
why my favorite movie is Scream.
Because you never see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always no one ever likes that one. That's my favorite. You know,
That way,
Guess what? I haven't seen Shawshank Redemption, but my favorite movie is Scream. So, you want me to see Shawshank Redemption? I doubt it. I have a bowling ball with a Scream mask on the bowling ball. Laura's first gift Laura ever bought me.
A bowling ball? That's nice.
'Cause
You,
we bowled.
you guys used
Yeah.
to bowl a lot more?
She never went, but they, Hermitage Lanes, me and my buddy Jeremy Morrow, PP. We'd go and his nickname was PP. But he
PP the pronoun?
PP the pronoun. Oh yeah, P was PPP the pronoun.
Oh, okay.
And we would go Hermitage Lane. They had Quarter Mania, and they would you'd always bowl Hermitage Lane. I always loved it. My high is one. What did I bowl? 266.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, we were awesome. Like me and him got really good. 'Cause we go there. It was like, you know, right when college years, 1920, and like we go there as a quarter, and so you could bowl forever. And we would bowl. I mean, every Wednesday, just all for a few hours. So we got pretty good.
Mhm.
And
So you're bowling a 266 while you're failing a bowling class.
yeah.
That's-
I'm not an on paper guy.
yeah.
I'm out in the real world.
This
Yeah.
when you had to score it all yourselves?
No, this is when the machines do it.
Okay.
And then
You never had to bowl where you.
yeah, in our bowling class, and I left. I mean,
Okay.
I kind of know how to do it, but I forgot it all.
Yeah.
But he was like, you would try to learn that.
Yeah.
But we would go up there, and then we went back. When I moved back home, we were like, hey, let's try to do it again. And so now we're in our late 30s, and it's like it's all like it gets night, like night light or
Cosmic bowling.
cosmic bowling, like glow in the dark.
Uh-huh.
And we're just like all right, dude, music's so loud.
Uh-huh.
You're like, I think I'm out. But like we do it some, but it's like you just want to go. Bowling's like sometimes hard to get a lane.
Yeah.
Like there's always so many everything. It's not always the most spur of the moment thing you can go do. You walk in and be like, let's go bowling. You walk in, they're like, oh, we got 50 leagues happening right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're like, all right. And
Uh-huh.
and they're like, why are you even here? Like you're supposed to like, I'm sorry I didn't get the email about the schedule of bowling. Bowling's like it's almost like it'd be like a country club, kind of like with golf, but you can't just wander up there always,
Mhm.
you know?
A lot of parties and stuff. They're like reserve lanes.
Yeah, you have to do something like that. But like it's not hey, let's go stumble in here and go bowling.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, so there's 61 people. The number 61, I looked her up. She is the granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth's first cousin, I think. So, I mean, so much would have to happen, you know. Queen Elizabeth's granddaughter was an Olympic medalist
Hmm.
and like equestrian.
Oh,
Yeah.
horse stuff?
yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we'll be doing. That's what I'll be doing my whole life. So Harper's into.
Yeah.
My whole life's gonna be horse stuff.
Yeah.
I've made a career out of horse stuff. I have a daughter that loves horse stuff. I'm not even that big of a horse guy.
You can take them or leave them, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, I have a new horse joke.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a specific. There's no callbacks in it. Yeah, if you're Queen Elizabeth, you're on to the first cousin. Yeah, it's something to say. I'd put it
Yeah.
on a business card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if I was her.
Welcome to Jiffy Lube.
Yeah.
I'm number 61.
61 in
60, yeah.
line. Yeah.
A lot's got to go down. But if 10 go, I'm probably next. You got to know that if 10 go, she's got to 61 can come quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
You know what I mean? Like if you're in a situation where 10 are gone.
The first 6 in line for succession to the queen have to get approval from her before they marry. She has to give them a consent.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, so she had like,
Like Harry and William, they had to go to her and almost ask for her blessing
Yeah.
before they married.
Yeah,
Oh.
but Megan didn't get it. Yeah. I think Megan didn't. She probably just said, "Obviously, you're wasting your time." Like you can say, tell Megan not to bother. The energy of the room, we can tell this isn't going to work out.
Yeah.
She's the only person in the world who doesn't require a passport for international travel.
The president needs a passport.
And
you
Oprah,
think?
and you're going to tell me guess who else does? Oprah needs a couple of them. Queen Elizabeth doesn't need a passport, dude. That's crazy. Is it the only person? I think.
Well,
I just looked up presidents' travel
Yeah.
because I was thinking, like, do they have to pack or anything? Like, if you're president, are you packing? Do you ever
Yeah.
pack?
Yeah.
Is it just kind of like, no, we have suits in the Air Force One. If they stay in a hotel, I don't even know. They probably don't stay in that many hotels. You know, they probably go home. Like,
Mm-hmm.
What was the answer?
there's no real exact answer, but they were just saying, like, yeah, I bet they have someone, you know, kind of pack their bags. And I've gone out with someone on the road. It's like celebrities that will do that. They have, I don't want to say his name. I don't know. I don't know if it matters. But it was like we go in. His room would be like his assistant would go in and hang everything up and unpack. And so when he goes in the room, his thing's all packed. When he leaves, he just leaves, and then the assistant packs everything back up.
It was Graham K, wasn't it?
No, yeah,
It's
Scary Veter.
Say Nick Novicki.
Yeah, it's Nick. I mean, you do got to go help Nick out. You know, I got to go in there. Nick pack, dude. Nick will pack for. I mean, he came to New York. I think he went somewhere for a month, and he had a backpack. I mean, for a month, and you're like, "This is it." Like,
Yeah.
Nick's always like, you never know what flight Nick's going to be on either, because he's going to get to the airport. Something's going to happen. Like he'll try to get upgraded, and he'll possibly he'll just go to the airport and just try to get on one of the other flights.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll talk to everybody to try to
Yeah.
get. So you never know when he's gonna.
He can get away with it sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's just so convincing and like
Yeah.
he's just like fun. Nick's the best to like go have be like, hey, you want a table at a restaurant earlier.
Yeah.
Go send Nick and Nick's gonna hey like just talk to him. He's just really good. Nick always comes up like I mean it's always like that.
Yeah.
Hey, you think
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The Queen is the monarch of 16 Commonwealth realms.
that whole sentence I don't even understand.
Well-
Starting at monarch to 16 Commonwealth realms. Can you imagine that? You just say that? Like that's where what realm do you live in? You're like, oh, I'm sorry, Hunger Games. I didn't mean to. That's what you say. What is a realm?
It's kind of like a country, but it's more like some of these are countries, like Australia, Canada, New Zealand.
She's over those.
Yeah,
She's
just
over
like-
Canada.
Yeah, we talked about it in the Canada episode. She's on
I
their
barely
money.
Paid attention.
She's on their money.
Oh, that's why. That's crazy.
She visited
Yeah.
the UFO landing pad.
Yeah. I remember that. That's the only thing I remember. But
Mhm.
I didn't think about her. Yeah.
But again, I mean,
So here's a map of the countries that are current Commonwealth realms.
so blue is where she can't go. Red
blue
is
is
she
current.
can't step foot
Red,
in.
the red
Red
is
is-
countries that used to be colonies or Commonwealth realms.
okay.
So it's all kind of going. You think she ever goes down to Australia, or is it always like, oh god, so far?
That's
Like, I mean, just being like, she's been trying to get rid of Australia. She's like, why don't we even do it?
yeah.
She's trying to talk to them, and she goes down there. She's like, you know what? What if y'all just got your own queen? And they're like, nah, I think we really like you. And she goes, okay, so I guess I could come back next month. Yeah, we'll see you next month. She goes,
Yeah.
guys, I've been thinking about it. This is stupid. But you be king. She's just trying to give it to someone in the room. You want to be king? I just read a book. I can do that. Australia. And has that half the what's the New Zealand or? What's right above
New
it?
Zealand's below Australia. I don't know. I think that's maybe Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, here's New Zealand right here.
I know where that was. Papua New Guinea. You could have told me to go find Papua New Guinea. I might have tried to get in a spaceship before I tried to go. I mean, I wouldn't have been in the right.
Is that a constellation?
Yeah, I would have been so
Yeah,
far.
that was Papua New Guinea. Good work, Bates.
Boom. Probably didn't say it right.
What's the other half of it?
Mama New
come
Guinea.
on, dude. That's West Papa. West Papa.
Is it a
Mama.
different?
Say
yeah,
mama.
yeah.
Mama New Guinea.
I just caught up
Yeah.
with that. That was funny.
Is it
I think it's just part of Indonesia, man.
Oh, Indonesia's even over there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on over here.
Thailand is over. I didn't even think about. So I was in the wrong area for a lot of things. I mean, I feel like I
What
walk
is
in.
this, Cuba?
I'm
It's
like,
like,
it's like going to a party and you don't know that person knows the other friend. You're like, what are you doing here? And they're like, no, I live here, dude. You're like, you live here?
yeah, what is Thailand doing down there?
Why are you not over, where is, maybe Thailand is where I think it is because you keep going and then that's LA.
This
Oh.
is
So maybe we just came at it a different direction. I'm sorry, dude. I walked in the back of the house. I thought I've never gone in the front door. You know when you don't use someone's front door? You're like, I always come in through the garage.
Yeah.
I didn't
Turned
even
around.
see it. Okay. All right. Now I know where we're at.
Let me get my bearings.
Yeah. Okay. Papua New Guinea. So what's the other? Is that another country? Or the other one?
Would you say
Mama New Guinea? Is that a different country?
Yeah, it's a different thing.
You feel like Papua
Part
New
of
Guinea.
Indonesia, it looks like.
You feel like, well, that's just near
One of the
there.
Indonesian islands.
I don't know if is it that? I mean,
I mean, I don't see another.
but if Papua New Guinea if it's separate, why don't they just go like, can we just have our own thing? Like, we're not even that big.
Look, dude, it's just east of Maluku. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just.
Oh,
think of
North,
it-
but
yeah.
there's a North Maluku.
Yeah, there's no.
Why is there,
It's east of the Maluku Islands.
dude? If we have a listener on Maluku, I mean, I will mail you a Nate Land shirt. I mean, I don't know how you get it in 6 months.
yeah, it'll be a while before it gets there. Yeah, pretty wild. So the queen rules over all of this, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
But
again,
ruling,
no,
yeah.
I
no
know,
government.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
kidding,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
kidding.
It's,
So she wasn't even in line technically. Her uncle became king, and then he, I forgot the word, withdrew from the throne.
quit.
There you go. He quit.
Is that
That's not what I was going for, but abdicated.
Abdicated. Yeah.
Abdicated
Yeah.
the throne.
you know that word?
Yeah, abdicate to remove yourself from the throne. It's one of those words that has a very narrow meaning, like defenestrate. You know what that word means?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a minister?
It's like
to
you've never
defenestrate?
listened to this podcast. I mean, I swear, dude.
You know, defenestrate. It means to throw out of a window.
Really?
Yeah, it's like how many opportunities do you get to use that word?
Yeah.
I defenestrated this.
You're about to find out. Where's Aaron? He got defenestrated. And then you know who's going to tell you that message? The Secretary of Defense.
the Secretary of Defenestration. Yeah.
So her uncle abdicated the throne because he wanted to marry an American woman who
Mm.
had been divorced once and was in the process of getting divorced again. And the prime minister said, "You can't do that. That's against the Church of England." So, so he just gave up the throne to be with this woman.
And they stay together?
Mhm.
Oh, they did? So it was true love.
I guess so. Yeah.
It'd be great if it was just like he does that and she's like, after like a week, she's like, I'm just not feeling
Yeah.
this. And he's like, well, I mean, I gave up quite a bit, just so you know.
yeah.
I had a pretty good title.
Jeez, I didn't know you were going to do all that.
She goes, well, I liked it because you were the king. What are you now? He's like, well, now I'm like 75th in line.
Yeah.
Because he's probably not even in line anymore.
Like it circles back around.
Yeah, it comes back
He
around.
gets to the back of the line. He gets back online.
To the back, buddy.
He's back online, yeah. And that cousin of the second granddaughter, second cousins has got a
Move
little
it up.
chipper attitude that they have a big party going, bye, bye, one more. And she moves her little head up one spot.
Number 60.
Wow.
Yeah, he suggested that how about I marry her and I keep the throne, but she just not be called queen. And they're like,
A
no.
good compromise, I think.
Yeah, they didn't go for
I
it.
don't know. It doesn't feel like a family of compromises.
No.
It's like not even a family, but like like it's not,
But
it's kind of set in stone. It's like the rules are the rules.
Yeah, it's interesting though, but the prime minister is the one that's telling the king, "You can't do this," and
But that feels good.
yeah,
Oh God,
Oh, man.
they love that.
I bet they. What? You may call her? I'll call her. I mean, he just thinks he just constantly.
I've been dying to call
Yeah.
her.
Oh no, I'll call her. No, you know what? Tell her to swing by.
Yeah.
So Queen Elizabeth's dad, his younger brother, then becomes king.
You're from Memphis. You're from Memphis. Where are they from?
I'm from Hollywood.
I'm from Hollywood. You're from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
He just does that.
I'm from
you're like-
Sussex.
You're from. I'm from Sussex. What's another town over there that's
Winston,
What's a
We're out.
Winstonshire.
Yeah.
Or one of the,
Liverpool?
You're from Liverpool. I'm from Sussex. Is Sussex the main part?
I don't even know if that's
Oh.
a place.
Sussex County. Where's that at?
I don't know.
Tennessee.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know all the
I've heard of
counties.
Sussex County. I thought there wasn't one here. You know the counties.
Yeah, I know the counties. There's not a Sussex.
You think
County.
the royal family? What do they do? What do they do? They have a game night. You think?
They do. They can't play Monopoly because it gets too heated.
Oh. It's like me and my brother playing Risk. We used to get in, fights.
Yeah.
We couldn't handle it.
Wow.
It wasn't a fun, it
You
wasn't.
took it real seriously.
I think we could play it now. We're older,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, it was in our 20s. We were too,
Yeah.
it was
Competitive.
you're too still brothers. It's like you're too much still so competitive.
There were two kids at my high school that played Risk, but isn't there a part of Risk where you rolled dice?
Yeah.
Whoever has the highest number.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, they played games of chess
Yeah.
instead of rolling dice. So this
Oh.
game lasted 8-9 months.
Yeah.
They just played it every day.
But it's like being like, instead, there's not a luck of the draw.
No.
It's like you truly got to beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would play a game of chess every time.
I mean, I like it that if you wrap your head around like this is gonna take 9 months.
It's going to be a long.
It's gonna be the full year,
Yeah, right.
and it's but it's like if you started losing, it would just be because risk risk just starts tumbling down.
Yeah, dude.
You go from like it's fun to like you're just getting like it's over.
Mhm.
Risk is great. I love Risk.
Yeah.
Is that what Kramer and Newman were playing?
Yeah. Ukraine is weak. Ukraine's not weak. Yeah.
The Queen uncle, he was just a wild card. Nobody wanted him to be the king. He just did dumb stuff. I guess the rule is when you get your face on the coin, you always look the opposite direction of the previous monarch.
Mhm.
But he liked one side of his face because that's where his hair was parted. So he insisted on being the same side of the coin. And then about the time they get them printed, he was king for less than a year.
Oh, wow.
And then he was out. So there's
Yeah.
like very few coins even out there. They're very rare, they said, if you have one with his face on it.
But he has some. Is he dead?
Yeah.
But he showed her, I'm on a coin. She's like, well, I could do that at the Six Flags.
Yeah, the zoo.
Like, yeah,
You put a
yeah.
penny in and crank the thing.
Why'd you have to give up everything, dude? We could have just dated or something. Like, yeah. Can we go there and eat or something? He's like, they don't want me to
Yeah,
go in
shit,
there
yeah.
anymore.
Don't lower the drawbridge for me anymore.
Javi, where do you live at? I got a studio apartment.
Where at?
It's near Radio Shack where I work. It's just all he gave up everything. Dude. He just has this.
It's a huge mistake.
Yeah. Is he? Oh God. Does anybody salute you anymore? My dog. Nothing. Just gave up everything, dude. All of it gone. He's not allowed to do.
Uh-huh.
The Queen sends a card
Yeah.
every Christmas. Something. Did she sign it? You're like,
Nah,
I don't think so.
nah. Her,
It
peop-
looks
her
like a
people
die.
sign it. Yeah.
It's like if I'm not mistaken, it's my granddaughter's cousin. Looks like her handwriting. Oh, that's cool. Could she be queen one day? You're like, maybe.
A lot of
Yeah, a lot's got to happen. But I was the first. I was the first domino to fall, so she got pretty excited about that.
Have you guys seen the movie The King's Speech?
Couple
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
I've never watched it. I think I tried and it felt
Too much.
Yeah, I don't know. Just getting
Little-
talked down to
A
in a
little too
British
close
accent.
to home. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what it's about. Like, it's the guy that writes the speeches for him.
No.
And I'm way off.
Yeah.
It's not that at all.
It's about
Is it like an equalizer?
see the prince or the king? At
He's
that
the
point?
king. He's Queen Elizabeth's dad.
Okay, he's
like
the
a Jason
king
Bourne
during World War
type
II or one.
Too.
During World War II, and he has a really bad stutter, and he has to
Yeah.
deliver these speeches. So he finds a speech therapist
Yeah.
to help him.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's not about the guy who writes them.
Just the guy that teaches him. So then it's just basically a 2-hour watching a guy learn how not to stutter.
Yes,
It is.
pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he does a good job.
So you basically have to watch the whole time it takes. Like,
Yeah.
My dad stuttered.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or speech impediment, like, and stuttered. So I've seen it. I've seen the movie
In real life.
in real life.
it's a great movie though.
It is a great movie.
Yeah,
That was Queen Elizabeth's dad. He died at 56, and then she became queen at age
I mean, is there a ton of just them
25.
stuttering and slaps him in the face or something? Is that a scene?
but he,
Huh? Is it?
He slapped him in the face, like
The guy gets
straighten up.
frustrated. Yeah. Like he gets
oh
mad
yeah,
about
he gets
it.
real frustrated. Yeah,
So that's a
but
scene.
the speech therapist that he hires is very good and patient with him and fixes him. Yeah, not fixes.
Yeah.
Fixes is the wrong word, but helps him do the speeches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
It's just based on a true story. Is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
So then Queen Elizabeth becomes queen at age 25. Her mother now has to call her your royal
I'm going back to
highness.
the Matrix. So I just like not to know to go that. Oh, that's cool. I watched all the Mission Impossibles twice. They do some king stuff in there. They have something
Some
over
royal
there.
family stuff in there.
Some British flag over there. I think a guy with a stutter.
I think one of the ones they do, like, don't they capture the prime minister or something?
I think they go to the Vatican, right? Don't they kidnap the Pope or something?
I
do
would
something
I would
to
be
the
in the
Vatican.
group going, we got the prime minister. I'm like, well, then who cares about that? No one's going to come after him. They're like, no, he's like the main guy. I'm like, oh,
Oh yeah, my bad.
I mean, so it's good because I thought we grabbed the wrong person. That's what I was is in the. Oh, great! What we're trying to get $50?
Yeah.
God, this is pointless.
This guy actually
No.
runs the whole thing.
He's above the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
He tells the queen who to marry.
Zip up a little bit, and you're like, sorry.
We're going to hear some royal rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you eat with the queen in the royal family, you have to eat fast because once she stops eating, you have to stop eating.
I mean, she's an old lady that's going to not even eat. Like, if you ever eat with an older, like a grandmother, they barely eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so then she's like, just 4 peas, and she's like, I'm out. And you're like, oh. I mean, talk about intermittent fasting. You thrive over there. I mean, that's,
You'd move up the ranks fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You think that's one of the like there's the unwritten rule that you don't start eating until everybody has their
Yeah.
plate. But you think
We did not honor that at your wedding, by the way.
No, that's fine. Well, that's impossible
Oh,
to do at a
who-
wedding.
Did we?
I mean, I think we just
Oh, we
don't-
waited until
don't-
everybody set the food down.
Yeah. At your table, maybe,
Yeah.
or whatever,
I didn't eat before their.
I jumped in that macaroni and
But-
cheese pretty quick.
Almost every time I'm waiting, somebody goes, "Yeah, go ahead, dude.
Yeah.
Don't wait on me." I feel like the queen has to do that.
I don't
Like,
think she does.
yeah, I'll just keep eating. I'm a little full tonight. You don't think the queen
Yeah.
has those kind
I
of?
make fun of it. I actually don't mind it.
You don't.
I'd like I do like some of this like kind of tradition kind of
Mhm.
like I think it's kind of fun. Like
Yeah.
I think it's I think it would be annoying. I bet in her immediate people that are around her, I bet it's a little they can do whatever they want. And then if you're kind of on the outskirts, I think it's a cool thing to say, oh, we can't eat. Like people want stuff to say. You don't want to go, how is it? You goes, she was like, she's out there burping. Like, eating, like she said, no, I eat. Her feet were up on the table. You're like, you want the story to be like, I'm not
You
allowed
want
to
it to
eat when
be,
she eats. Eat.
Hooray,
It's
right.
like, that's what you're buying.
But if
into.
you're a family, you're like, come on, grandma.
yeah,
Like,
oh gosh, nah,
come on.
let
Nino.
me eat.
Come on, Nino.
me, I'm starving.
You have to hold your knife in your right hand and fork in your.
And just funny, sorry. How old is she too? That the 61st in line is a grandmother's cousin. Like it's like there's so many amounts of people underneath her. She's been around for so long that there's just they're like her. She's like it's like grandchildren are just.
Yeah.
Well, Prince Charles has been first in line since he was 3, and he's now in his 70s.
That's crazy, dude. He's like, I'm not even going to get a shot at this.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to get a good run.
Yeah,
There's been talk about just skipping him
they
and
should.
going to William.
How you can't do that. Dude.
Come
You
on,
can't.
dude.
You can't. You know,
So, dude, yeah.
you can't be like he's just sitting there like, oh no, I get to follow the one lady
Who
that-
won't die?
who just can't. Oh, let me guess, her physical went great. No, it's my mother. I love her. But how long are you going to be here for? How old is she?
95.
Her mother lived to be like 101.
And she was still and they don't ever.
I mean, for like 50 years, her mom had to call her daughter, Your Royal Majesty.
But I mean, do you call her like Izzy or Liz, or Elizabeth?
Maybe behind
What-
closed doors.
Yeah.
Beth.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Something.
a different one. All right, sorry.
All right, so you hold the fork in your left hand. And instead of stabbing the food, you have to balance the food on the back of your fork and bring it to your mouth.
So you don't use the actual. So
Not the
so
prongs.
what we're getting is they don't know how to use a fork.
You
Long
have to kinda
story
lift
short,
it up and
can you imagine that it's just been someone in their family didn't know how to use a fork,
Yeah.
and then now it's turned into they're eating like this 100 years later, and it's like because if you could go find that guy, if they go to heaven and they go, you remember the fork thing? He goes, I did that as a joke. Dude. That was like
Yeah.
one day.
Oh, they're
And they
still
go,
doing it.
Oh, they're still. He's like, what?
How would they do it? They
turn the fork over and balance it on the back of the fork, and then maybe use your knife and lift
Yeah.
it up.
or no spoons though, huh?
Well, not for cutting.
Yeah, but you're not going to use the prongs on the fork.
So why even give a
might
fork?
as well be a
I
spoon.
don't know.
Yeah, well, just use a knife.
According to this.
Wait till sporks make it over there, dude.
They would be.
That's one-
Taco Bell's been trying to get in that window forever. They that doesn't even like when they do it like that. I would be. You look this up.
Yeah.
Look that up. I want to see if there's.
If that's a real thing.
Yeah, this is only according to that.
Yeah.
But there, because it doesn't like it doesn't make like how would you the older you get you kind of shake,
Yeah.
so she just can't eat. And
Maybe you
then
get used to it. It's probably like chopsticks for the first time. It seems impossible, and then you just figure it out.
they're all still pretty difficult. It
That's
doesn't
true.
make it seems crazy to be if you're just putting it on the back of your you can only eat one at a time. And
Yeah,
then I mean
It's insane.
this is the back, dude. If you went there and you go, the back of their forks now look like regular fronts of the forks. You're like, all right, dude. Well, you're just using forks.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, that's the back of it. I go, all right, whatever we're calling it. That's fine. But you go tell me the back of this fork's a fork. It sounds a lot worse than it's basically a double-sided fork. And I would think you would look, say, shouldn't you look like power, right? If you're
Mhm.
queen. Well, if I'm another kingdom and I go have dinner with them, I'm going to leave and be like, we're going to attack these people tomorrow. Like these are the dumbest people. They might shoot themselves with the cannon faced backwards. I'm just saying that's a possibility. If I'm another king of another kingdom, I would have walked out there. I mean, I would have stole stuff. I'd have started knocking their drinks over and be like,
Yeah.
we'll see you tomorrow morning. I would tell them how we're going to do it. I'm going to come over your dumb castle right in the front.
Yeah.
You guys don't know how to eat, and then they just then they get destroyed.
All right.
Nothing on it.
No, I mean, I can't
Yeah.
find video of people eating.
Well, I mean, you
I'll look
couldn't
into
even- Yeah.
I confirmed what Brian said. I found a bunch of articles about it,
Oh yeah. Okay.
but
You're not supposed to touch a member of the royal family, especially the queen. But Michelle Obama ignored it and hugged Queen Elizabeth in 2009.
were people
Wow.
mad about that?
Some people said the queen initiated it,
Oh,
Oh
but
yeah.
that's supposed to be a big no-no.
Like no one can touch her.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, unless maybe if she invited you to
Yeah.
Prince Philip,
Yeah.
he obviously touched her.
Yeah.
Um, women cannot cross their legs.
Oh, I think I saw that. Like
Are you?
she touches her. Maybe can she touch whoever she wants?
I'm sure she can.
Yeah.
oh. If
She's
she
supposed
came, I would like to deny her a hug. If I ever met, she tried to give me a hug, I'd be like, absolutely not. You
I don't allow people to touch me either.
Yeah.
I know I'm not anybody. I know I'm probably 80th in line or something to get your job, but I also don't, just gives me the
it's-
heebie-jeebies.
Don't.
You know what I mean?
I just don't care for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Women can't cross their legs in the royal
Oh.
family. They can cross their ankles, but not their legs.
Oh, my ankles are crossed right now.
Uh,
That's got to be frustrating.
yeah.
I love sitting with my legs crossed.
How?
Like,
You
Woman-
play
make
knee,
sure- women's
knee
style,
over
to
the
make
knee.
sure Holly's not behind me. Yeah. Oh, like
Oh, you can do it like that. I can't get that far.
Oh, I'll sit like this all day. Big fan.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan.
I'm an ankle on the knee.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, that I don't like. I mean, I do that some. That's
Uh-huh.
the very man.
Oh yeah.
That's like a guy.
Oh, guy on his porch.
Yeah, just sitting
Yeah.
there. Welcome,
Feels good.
welcome.
It
Glad to
does
have
feel
you.
like that. Yeah.
Whoa! Don't touch my mama.
Yeah.
But come on in. Yeah, we have this. I don't know if you ever watched the royal family stuff, but we have the same kind of rules they
Yeah,
got.
we do the same thing.
We do the same thing over here. We do.
They have to travel. Anytime they travel, they have to travel with black clothes in case someone dies, and they have to immediately go
Oh.
into mourning.
Because the first picture they're going to get taken of them is going to be.
There's like a whole thing they have to do. So Queen Elizabeth, when she was still princess, was on vacation in Africa when her dad died, and she didn't have any funeral clothes, so she had to fly back in, I guess, her safari get up or something. So now it's just a rule: if you fly somewhere, you got to have mourning clothes, as they call it.
Wow.
I mean, it is like, it seems crazy, but you're like, yeah, you would get with that amount of people that are going to see the eyes that are going to be on her. Like she's going to get off that plane, they're going to take a picture of if she does have the safari
She's
thing
got
on it.
giraffe pants. You're like,
Everything gets
oh.
sent out of context. Like they go, here's a picture of whatever of the queen after finding out, and then you're like, she doesn't care her dad died. Like
Yeah.
it is pretty crazy. I always think that too. Like you do, I mean, it's the opposite, but like, you get on TV or something, you're like, yeah, you got to make yourself, all these people are going to see this. You got to think about it. Same thing. I go the same thing she goes through. Go ahead.
2 heirs to the throne can't fly together in case there was a crash.
Oh.
So
the
once
amount of booking all the flights for that, you got to do it down to 60. All right, last one. She's on Southwest. She'll be on Spirit in the middle seat. Number 60 is just,
Spirit.
Can I get a water? She goes, no. She goes, I'll give you water, but you can't check a bag. Can I have a little respect? I go, what if my plane goes down? We're hoping your plane goes down, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. We're rooting for it.
The queen signals when her conversation is over to her staff by moving her purse from her left arm to her right arm. It means, I'm tired of this guy. It's time to move on.
Well, it's not a very good secret.
Yeah. Now, if I met the queen, that's all I'd be looking at.
Yeah.
She
She just sits there and she just grabs it
She
right in
doesn't
front of
even-
your face.
doesn't even try to be
Yeah.
secretive about
Yeah.
it.
And she goes, I think you know why I did that.
She drops it.
Yeah. And she just hands you the purse. You're like, what's it? Boom. You don't know what that signal is. Whoa, what's that? You get tackled. Cartart down. Cartart down.
She wears bold colors on purpose so people in the crowd can spot her easily.
So that could come off as arrogant,
Mhm.
but I think it comes off as like, it's the same mentality as I think it was Joe DiMaggio that said, I play, or Mickey Mantle, either one, but they play every game full on because you never know, it's some kid's first time and only time ever getting to come to the stadium.
Mhm.
And it's not fair for that kid to not get to see me try my hardest.
Mhm.
So like that kind of thing is like, you could see that's arrogant and you're like, everybody wants to see her.
Yeah.
Don't be dumb and act like you don't care. And so she's trying to do the right thing and be like, I'm making it easy for everybody. So I don't want to take anything from anybody. It's not
Yeah.
about you. It's not at that point. It's not about you. It's about them.
Yeah, there is a huge crowd, so you can easily spot her from a distance. The royal family cannot vote or publicly express any opinion on political matters.
Hmm.
They've done that, haven't they?
Hasn't that been a big thing?
with Meghan.
Yeah, I haven't followed that much, but
Yeah.
something's going on.
Well, she's new in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we need someone, there's a comic that knows her, Matt Ruby.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm. He like knew her from New York, like just
she
a
was
long
just
time
an
ago.
actress in
Yeah,
New York?
yeah. Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. Like, and then she's now this.
Wow.
According to the documentary Serving the Royals Inside the Firm, that's what it's called, the firm.
Yeah.
Prince Charles has his pajamas pressed every morning. His shoelaces are pressed flat with an iron, and he has his butler squeeze 1 inch of toothpaste on his toothbrush each morning.
It's pretty good.
And he's got a special called The
I
Greatest
make Laura
Average
do the
Britain.
same thing. What?
Irons your
Are you making fun
pajama
of that?
pants.
What'd you say? He's got a special.
He's got a special called The Greatest Average Britain.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny. It's all right.
That's fine.
It's not that good.
Well,
I mean, not after Mama or Pop Mama Guinea. Then,
no.
Trying to bring some comedy to this podcast.
Huh?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to.
There you go.
Yeah, I'd love you to.
At Christmas time, if you're a guest of the Queen, they weigh you. You have to weigh yourself before and after you leave. And it's a sign of respect. They want you to eat up and have a good time. So if you gain weight, that shows like you enjoyed your stay.
That to me, that would be for something else, not that.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't believe.
Like what? Like you think it's
I like make sure you don't have something in your coat. Like
Wow.
like make sure you don't steal something.
Yeah.
Like you don't walking out like wearing a bunch of jewelry or something that you're supposed to.
I mean, maybe, but I think it's very few people get invited. I think Meghan Markle's mom was like the last new person to come for Christmas dinner. And so
Get on the scale, ma'am. I don't think so. Like, like this.
What do you think they do if you've lost weight during this?
I don't know. I think
They
it's just
go, get
tradition.
back in there, eat some more.
What was it? Food poisoning.
Yeah.
Food stinks.
Yeah.
They tell them that.
yeah, the royal family doesn't eat shellfish because of the threat of food poisoning.
Oh.
They just have to be so proper.
Yeah.
That's got to be just so. I mean, that's probably why you don't even want to be out much
Mm-hmm.
because you have to be.
You have to be that to people.
Yeah, you have to be everything to these people, man. Like you have to be so proper and so like you can't like have just anything go wrong. I mean, I think it's loosening up. Like it's going to loosen up. Obviously, the Meghan Markle and Prince Harry thing. That's probably a good thing, even though it's like whether people want it or not. It's probably not a bad thing. It's probably going to make it be not a little more approachable than it ever was. Whether you want it to be her or not. But I'm just saying, like down the line, will be
Mm-hmm.
a little bit better. Like even like Prince William and Kate Middleton. But
Mhm.
people love Kate Middleton. Like
I think
she's,
so.
yeah, I think she's like people love her like Princess Di or something.
Yeah.
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 So there's a whole in-depth process of when the queen dies, like the whole procedure. Once the doctor says she's dead, the queen's private secretary calls the prime minister and says, London Bridge is down. That's the code word. And then they call,
I mean, it's such a crazy code word just to kind of just then be like, she's 104. Like, It's like you think like London Bridge is down is like it feels like we got assassination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like London Bridge. He goes, London Bridge is falling down. I'll call you back. Now London Bridge is down.
Is that what the song is about?
Probably.
I don't think so.
I mean, it has to be.
I think this
Right.
comes from the song.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, look it up. I don't know.
Yeah, it
I
has to
mean,
be.
there is a London Bridge, obviously, but
Yeah. I mean, what are the odds that that song has nothing to do with that?
Hmm.
What's the
I'll look it up.
All right. So once they say London Bridge is down, then they call the 15 other Commonwealth governments that we looked at on the map, let them know. And then all press outlets get a news release all at the same time. But at the exact same moment, in keeping with royal tradition, a footman in mourning clothes comes outside with a notice and hangs it on the gate of Buckingham Palace. So that's very old tradition. And at the same time, the royal family website also has an announcement on their website. Then Prince Charles becomes king. He calls the government. The next day at 11 a.m., he's proclaimed king, and they swear their loyalty to him. and then he goes on tour to visit the 15 other commonwealths.
Oh.
So it's a very formal everything.
And then they had the funeral.
yeah,
There's the funeral, that's going to be just wild.
yeah,
Like, I mean, it's, that would be a big deal. Like, I think when she, it's been there so long. She's been there so long. And it's probably the last, I mean, he is too. But like, when, then once it's just going to change so much because it's like kind of that old stuff's going to be gone,
mm-hmm.
What do you think the equivalent that would be of an American culture of somebody dying? Somebody who's just been an institution like that for so long.
Well, president.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like where everybody watches it or something.
Yeah, or just like it would
I
be
mean-
that meaningful to American culture.
Like a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
Betty White.
Is
I mean,
there
it's
any-
like Biggie, like when Biggie and Tupac died, they're like, is he even talking about big kind of crazy funerals? Like those were huge.
Or
Just a date,
like,
country mourning.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, the country would mourn. I guess that
Oh,
applies.
and he laughed a little too quick.
Well, it was just funny to hear you say that.
Biggie and Tupac.
Well, I feel like it was on, it was such a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in those, but I guess in New York, I guess the whole country, like someone's got to go and it's the entire country. I think it's got to be a president.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
too,
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
got to be a president. I mean, obviously, there's some celebrities. If they died suddenly, it'd be
Uh-huh.
shocking.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Oprah.
London
Oprah
Bridge,
could-
by
Tom
the
Hanks?
way,
Yeah.
is
Tom-
about. I mean, it's about the bridge.
Yeah.
So not really. I always think like "Ring Around the Rosie." That made me think every children's song has some hidden
Yeah.
Ring Around the Roses.
horrifying meaning. Yeah. So this song, "London Bridge is Falling Down," just about the bridge.
And then they use that as the same thing as that.
Uh-huh.
I guess so.
London Bridge
That
is
doesn't
down.
make sense. It has to be. And you like, I don't even, whoever came up with that song, I don't believe them. I don't believe, just say it, dude. Just say just say the reason you came up with it is because of this.
Yeah.
Do they talk about London Bridge falling down a lot over there? I've never talked about a bridge falling down ever in my life.
Yeah. We got
I'm never
good bridges.
worried. We got good bridges.
We got way better bridges over
I
here.
never,
dude.
we don't have songs about the Queensboro
Yeah.
Bridge falling down.
Golden Gate Bridge is
Yeah.
falling down. No.
No.
There was one time where the king and queen ruled together. William and Mary.
Oh, we named the college after him
Yep.
as a token of our
Uh,
gratitude.
Thanks. Why did they,
Why did they rule together?
yeah, why do they not rule together now? Oh, because they're not,
I mean,
oh, wait, because they got to be blood.
yeah.
So how did, so, I don't
In
know.
this
Do we
case,
wanna
they
get
made
into this?
No, it's not like that. In this case, they made an exception. The king was Catholic, and they didn't like that. So his daughter was a devout Protestant. So they overthrew, her husband helped overthrow the king and let her become queen. But she didn't really want to rule that much either. I'm probably getting part of this wrong. So since he helped overthrow, they just said, let's rule together. And they just ruled as king and queen, William and Mary.
I mean, it sounds like a mess.
yes.
That's Meghan and Harry, but back then, like where it's all like there's just drama
Mm.
because let's do it together, like
But that's, I think, the second oldest college in the country
yeah.
is William and Mary. So TV viewership of these weddings, it's one of the most watched events ever in history. The most watched of any royal thing was Diana's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
2.5 billion viewers in 1997.
That is
More than MASH?
crazy.
Is that more than MASH?
2 billion.
Yeah.
That's a third of
MASH
the world
wasn't.
A lot of people watch MASH, dude.
Yeah.
in this country, but this is worldwide. And
MASH was worldwide, dude.
No.
MASH was in the millions.
Show was in Vietnam, dude.
It was the Korean War.
Korea.
That's so crazy. Is this the most watched thing?
Okay.
No, I think Olympics and MASH had 106 million.
MASH at 106 million,
embarrassing.
little less than 2.5
Yeah,
billion.
that's why I got canceled. Did you really think? Did you really think it was 1 billion people watched MASH?
I thought it was an astronomical amount of people. Yeah, I did.
we talked about this on the TV episode. For American viewership, Super Bowls and MASH are the top things. But for worldwide, it's Olympics, it's World Cups, and then
Princess Diana's
Yeah.
funeral.
I mean,
What was the
pretty much-
most watched thing?
I think it was one of the recent Olympics, maybe the 2012 Olympics.
I mean, it has to be more than 2.5 billion. That's so crazy.
The World Cup 2010, 2014, 3.2 billion.
God. But is that like is that every like they're adding all the World Cup viewers? You know what I mean?
You mean through the whole tournament?
Yeah.
That's
like
a good question.
versus-
I don't know.
Like this is the
This is a one-time thing.
this is a one-time thing. 2.5 billion people.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people are on Earth?
I looked up 1997. It was like 5-something billion, I think.
I mean, dude, that's
Half the world.
yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, they're basically half the world's got an access to TVs, and then half doesn't. And it's probably almost everybody because it's not 2.5 billion people alone.
Mhm.
Almost everybody's watching it with other people, and so like that's basically the whole. I mean, it's got to be the most watched thing ever. I don't know. I mean, that's.
Well, he looked up. There was something that was 3-point-something billion.
Yeah,
the World
that's
Cup.
the
But
World
keep
Cup.
in mind,
But I know what I'm saying is this World Cup. Is it one game or is it the entire tournament?
oh, right. So,
Like if it's the entire tournament, then it's not the most watched thing.
and keep in mind, this is 20-something years ago. So there's a lot more people. in the world
Largest
now.
collective global franchise viewing in the world, and and has been watched by 3.2 billion. Is that what that means?
FIFA World Cup has attracted an average of 3.2 billion viewers in 2010.
Overall live event.
Most watched overall live event by average.
I know, but you see what I mean? Like is that 10 games?
Mhm.
Like what's the single most watched live event?
Okay.
Type in that.
I'll look it up.
All right.
Do you remember when
Yeah.
she died?
So I remember where I was at.
Yeah.
And it was in 90.
97.
Yeah.
So you just graduated high school?
Yeah. And then I was for when Princess died, Princess Diana, when she died, I was at this girl Liz Embry. I was at her house, 97. So I think I just graduated high school. Maybe she was a year younger than me, and so and we were at her house, at her parents' house, and when it happened, it was at night, and I remember that.
Yeah.
I was in Memphis. We went because
You were covering it.
well, I was working at a TV station,
Yeah.
but I went there for fun because the Tennessee Oilers played in Memphis in '97.
Yeah.
It was the season opener, and so I went up there to stay with a buddy of mine, and we went out on Saturday night. I'd never been to Memphis, and went out on Bill Street. And before we left that night, we'd already got word that the crash had happened. And I think maybe her boyfriend Dodie or whatever had already passed away. And then we went out that night on Bill Street, and then we got back late that night. The news was saying she died. I just
Yeah.
remember it was
Yeah.
so shocking.
So
Did
crazy.
you care at that point? Like,
I just knew it was shocking, but I remember this will sound bad, but a few weeks later, Chris Farley died, and I remember that affected me more.
oh, that's
Then
perfectly
Chris
fine,
Farley.
I think.
But there were so
You-
many women friends of mine that were just in
we
tears.
watched,
Yeah.
his funeral too.
Chris Farley's.
That was 3 billion.
Did they
people
have a
watched that.
funeral? I think they did. Did they show a funeral for him?
I just remember a video
Yeah.
of like celebrities walking in.
I know where I was for that too. I could drive. I'd have to drive there. The Nashville auction used to be. I don't think it's there anymore. But
Lebanon Road.
that goes downtown.
Yeah.
And I was right. There's 2 gas stations right before you get to Nashville. This is only for Nashville people, even
It's just really
old
for me and
Nashville
you.
people too. Like it's not even like young Nashville. But there used to be. The auction's not there anymore. I don't think.
Okay.
And then, but there used to be an auction there. I worked at that auction, and I was driving home, and there's 2 gas stations across from each other, and I was right in. I don't know why. I was right in the middle of it, middle of those gas stations, and I heard it on the radio. They said Chris Farley just died,
Wow.
and I remember being right. I just remember that's what I remember. I mean, with Princess Diana, I remember being over at Liz's house, and I remember it being night. And then I remember the Chris Farley one too. Yeah,
Mm.
crazy. I remember. I mean, because I was driving.
Yeah.
Were you old enough to
I
remember?
was 5.
So no.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
There's so the most events, but see, these Olympic ones are it's like the Summer Olympics. It's like I don't know how you can count that. So go to live events. That's overall like that's 2 months. So 2 billion people watching in 2 months.
Yeah.
How many people die on a normal cruise? 30, 40? So let's go. The most live events.
Yeah, you got some singular events here.
Muhammad Ali and Leon Spinks, 2 billion, which is crazy.
Now that has Diana also at 2 billion,
Yes.
but History Channel said it was 2.5 billion.
Yeah. So Muhammad Ali, he's got a couple. So I mean, golly, dude, that's so famous. These are regular events. So like just the one day, that to me is more impressive.
Yeah, Michael
oh, yeah,
Jackson's
for sure.
funeral was up there too.
2 billion. Hold on, don't scroll. September 11th attacks, yes, 2 billion. I mean that the whole world had to watch. I mean that's almost like I wonder if you can even track how because that was on every channel.
Yeah.
So everybody was watching. Is this all billion? Baywatch was 1.1 billion.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Aloha from Hawaii. Was that Elvis?
Yeah, that was Elvis. It was like a live concert.
Wedding
he
of
did.
Prince Henry and Meghan Markle was 1.9 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, Muhammad Ali's got a bunch of them.
He's got a
1
bunch of
billion, dude.
really famous fights.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. We got Muhammad Ali, George Foreman.
Obama, yeah. The Wall live in Berlin. I kind of remember that. Like I just think I remember it being on TV. I don't remember watching it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a live concert.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was the wall coming down. When did the wall come down?
About that same time.
Oh,
So
okay.
the
The Gulf War. I remember watching that every night. He was watching. That's a very broad thing to be the Gulf War. You got 1 billion people. Yeah, of course. I guess, dude. Is it just who heard about stuff? You know, like.
I don't even know what there's something on there. Satami Jayatar season 1. I don't even know what that is.
Prince William and Catherine Middleton. They had $1 billion.
Captain Middleton.
Captain
I
Middleton.
think Prince Charles and Diana's wedding was $1 billion. Although I don't see it.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And he died.
Oh, there it is.
Prince
Okay.
Charles.
There it
and
is.
Diana,
Okay.
yeah.
Man.
Do you think now with so many people just watch stuff online that can even track it the same?
No. It's got, but even, but not, 9/11 I think has to be up there. That's a pretty interesting list though. Go back down, like when he gets to 600 million, like, but I think 9/11 has to be up there because it just was, I mean, it's like America just doesn't get attacked. And
Yeah.
so it's like, that was such a crazy, and that was on everything. That was, I mean, it was just the amount of people that,
Yeah, if you think about an event that you just like COVID is probably the craziest thing that's happened in our lifetime. But
Yeah.
still, for just a singular event, where were you? You're not going to think about COVID. You think about 9/11.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, I can't tell you the where I was the first time I heard about COVID.
Yeah.
I know the
Exactly.
day we stopped. I do
Yeah.
because I was on the road.
When you found out, when you heard that it was a thing?
It was like the March 12th was that last date, and then so that was the day where everything got canceled. So it was like
yeah, but you'd
10,
heard
11,
of it before that.
Not that much before. I mean, like it was people were kind of mentioning some stuff, but it was just kind of like, is this thing serious? Is it getting crazy? Whatever. And then it was like, but everybody remembered just watching everything getting canceled. It was like 10, 11, 12 was like, it was like just all like kind of like, this is canceled. I remember
That week.
being, I mean, we have the video of that. Of me on, but them going like they just canceled all arena shows on live, for Live Nation, and so it's like it was like that. It was like all this stuff was like snowballing and be like, well, this is getting canceled, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild.
Members of the royal family, they have to walk in line of succession. So Prince Philip always had to walk behind Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
But
so it's like they know. So it's like that. So she's the queen. He's next, like that.
Yeah, like Prince Charles' wife
Yeah.
has to walk behind him.
Yeah.
But then if they all like walk in together, now it would just be Queen Elizabeth. But then Charles, then his wife, then I'm drawing a blank, William and his wife, and then the line of succession. So if they enter a room, it has to go in that particular order. Does that make sense?
It's such
Yeah.
a headache.
Yeah.
Who's sitting there making sure all this happens?
I think it's but it's only proper kind of things.
So like formal events.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that.
it's not like you're just
It's not like I have to go to the bathroom.
yeah.
Can you get behind me real
Yeah.
quick? Yeah.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth was born.
You
on-
don't go after it. It's all you don't think.
Oh, I have to.
No, I had to go after Prince Henry. Oh God, the guy had gout was the least of his problems. I don't know. He just had the. You're like, oh, I had to follow the Queen. You're like, oh, I'd kill to follow the Queen. Literally, and you can to move up if you want to. I guess
Do you think you'd like to be a member of a royal family?
I think it'd be crazy. You live out like, I mean, if you break it down into the fact of like, do you want, people are like, I don't want that celebrity. I just don't think you're not like, I think it's crazy. I bet they would tell you they wouldn't want it. Like there could be times that they don't like it. But if you truly are like, you're born into it, you appreciate what you're born into, it's a tradition. It's a tradition that I think helps a lot of people. I think people like watching this stuff. People like, they like the country. It stands for that country. It stands for, that stuff means a lot. It means a lot to a lot of people. So if you make it about you, you're not going to like it. If you make it about what it's supposed to be about is the people, then you will love it because you're giving to the people. But once you make it about yourself, and then it's going to be too overwhelming and you're going to hate it.
Yeah.
So, end on that.
Yeah, that was
All right.
a good mic
Changes
drop.
everybody's life.
Yeah, that was good.
Naples, Florida, June 11, 13. Tickets moving. We need Sunday shows. They're almost all sold out. Sunday, if you want tickets, I think Sunday. And June 13th.
Yep. Also Sunday. If
Also
you're in
Sunday.
Naples, fly up to Nashville. Come to my 4:00 show. You be back down for his.
Then you can get back to my late show.
Yeah.
And then Aaron.
June 25th through the 27th, Zany's Chicago. I'm headlining.
Oh,
Come hang out.
It's a big room. It's a big room to headline.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a great room. They have a great note on the wall from Ellen DeGeneres.
What does it say?
Aaron's not good, No, it's actually a newer note.
Yeah.
It's her saying that she would love to work the club. She wrote a letter, I think, to the owner and like was trying to, be like, hey, I think I'd fit at the club or something like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's at Atlanta Punchline. You can see it says, thanks for letting me bomb here, Bill Burr, from years ago. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're the other one, the one at Cleveland in Hilarities is it's the club that Seinfeld was at when he got the call that he got the show.
Wow.
Wow.
And they called him there and told him I believe that's I believe that's the story. It's that if it's not exactly that, it's something like either they got picked up or for a second season or something. There was something like along those lines. But yeah,
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. All right, everybody. See you next week. Thanks.